regions with limited or scarce resources. Okay, simple as that, colleagues. How we make decisions with limited or scarce resources. Okay. In economics, remember, we are trying to satisfy our wants and our needs. Okay, so there are three economic questions that are asked. What to produce? How to produce? And for whom to produce? Yes? Is that a question? Yes, Madam Elizabeth?
Sorry, just
Okay. So these are the three basic economic questions. Alright? Because remember, things are limited in this world, so you can't satisfy everybody. Okay, and because things are limited, they are scarce, there is always a price attached to something. That's why you can't do things for free. Alright, so today we're going to look at the first graph that you'll be taught about in economics, which is the production possibility frontier curve. Okay. This shows the combination of goods and services that can be produced when we utilize resources efficiently. Okay? This is what the PPF curve shows us, the production possibility frontier curve. So someone trying to join it. Yes. Okay. Combination of goods and services that we can produce when we utilize our resources efficiently. Okay. So this is how this curve looks. Excuse me. Let's say a nation is producing two things, food and clothes. So this graph is going to show us four important economic concepts. It's going to show us four important economic concepts. Alright. The first economic concept that is going to show us, as I said, is scarcity. Which scarcity just basically telling us things are limited and they can finish. Resources are limited. We don't have all the resources in the world, right? So they can finish. That's why we have this red bow-shaped line here. Okay. This is the limit we can reach. We cannot go beyond this red line here. okay, because resources are scarce, so we cannot go beyond this red line. This, think of it as the limit here, this red line. Okay? Yes, that is the first concept. So if you see in a question, they give you a point like here, point, let's say, point X. Point X is unachievable. Why? Because we don't have the resources to produce the combination at point X, the combination of food and clothes at point X. Alright? We do not have all the resources that we have, that we need. That's why we cannot produce there. Alright. The second concept, which is illustrated by this graph, is Is that the question? Yes, Mr. Ibra. You have a question, Mr. Ibra?
Maybe it's a mistake.
Colleagues, when you have a question, just no need to raise your hand, okay? You just ask there and then, okay? Yes. Just ask whatever you need to ask. Yes. So the second concept is efficiency. Okay. Efficiency is not wasting resources. That's what efficiency is about, right? Minimizing the waste of resources. Another way you can think of it, getting the most output with the least input. Okay. So any point along this red line here, along the curve, okay, represents efficient use of resources, okay? So for example, we have point A, we have point B, we have point C, and we have point D. Okay? All these points show that we're utilizing our resources efficiently. Okay? So this is how we interpret these points, okay? Point A, this in here. Let me put some numbers here. Okay, we have these points here. So at point A, right, we're producing no clothes, okay, 0 clothes, okay, and 50 units of food. That's how we interpret it, okay, colleagues? Point A, we're only producing food, we're not producing any clothes, right? Point B, at point B, we're producing 5 units of clothes and 45 units of food. Okay, 5 units of clothes, 45 units of food. Okay, then let's say we have point C here. Point C, we're producing 7 units of clothes and 20 units of food. Okay. Then at point D, we're producing 10 units of clothes and 0 units of food. So at point D, we're only producing clothes. Yes? Go ahead with your question. Was that a question? That's how we interpret our graph. So A, B, C, and D show that we're utilizing our resources efficient. Well, I forgot to mention what these resources are. Okay, these resources are the factors of production, which are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship, just think of it as the management of these other three resources, okay? Because the definition of an entrepreneur is someone who takes risks, gathers resources, and starts a business, okay? Entrepreneurship. Just leave it there. Yes. So any point you see, like for example, point C, point, let me call this point E. This shows that any point below this line is inefficient use of resources. Inefficient use of resources. Yes?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I wanted to, I'm sorry I'm a bit late, so I wanted to find out like where the numbers are coming from. I'm a bit confused, sorry.
Or where the numbers are coming from?
Yes, sir.
No, I'm just making them up, the numbers. I'm just illustrating here. So I'm just putting random numbers.
Okay, but what are we, what are we talking about exactly? Oh, the question up there, oh, I didn't see.
No, we are looking at
Scroll down a bit.
Yes, we're looking at this. The production possibility frontier curve.
Okay.
This is the first graph you look at.
Oh, okay.
The first graph you see in economics.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, so the third concept that this graph shows us is what we call trade-offs. Okay, when you exchange one good for another. Okay, that is what a trade-off is. Okay, when you're exchanging one good for another. Okay, so here the trade-off is between food and clothes. Okay, if you want to produce more clothes, you have to trade it off with food. If you want to produce more food, you have to trade it off with clothes. Okay, colleagues?
Yes, sir.
And finally, what we call opportunity cost. Think of this as the cost of the trade-off. Okay, the cost of the trade-off. Now, these are just simple definitions I'm giving you, colleagues, all right? Because I like to simplify things. Once you simplify things, you grasp what's being talked about. The official definition of an opportunity cost, okay, is the cost of what you give up whenever you make a choice. Okay? This cost is not always money. Okay? As the name states, it's an opportunity that you've given up. For example, okay, let's take person X, all right? Person X has got two, can either go to university, get a degree, or you can go and start working. Okay? So if person X chooses to go to university, the opportunity cost is the benefits you would have got if you started working. Probably if you started working, you'd have been getting a salary, you'd have got promoted. Okay? Though obviously there would have been some benefits and opportunities that would have come with it. So by choosing to go to school, you have given up those benefits. That's your opportunity cost. Okay? Now, if person X says, okay, no, I want to work instead of going to school, the opportunity cost is the degree that is going to get, the future job, and the knowledge that he was going to get. Okay? If person X chooses to go for work, the opportunity cost is the benefits that you'd have got if you went to school. So every time we are making the choice, right, we always weigh the opportunity costs. So if we look at person X, right, person X is going to say which opportunity cost is greater, the opportunity cost of missing out my degree and getting a better job, or the opportunity cost of my getting a salary and starting work early. Okay? So if you see the opportunity cost of losing a degree, getting all that knowledge, if you see that that opportunity cost is too great for you, you're going to choose to go to school, because you know that you don't want to miss out that, you don't want to incur that opportunity cost. If you see that the benefits of starting work are too great for you, the opportunity cost is great for you, then you're just going to say that, let me start work, because I do not want to lose out on the benefits of working. Any questions? So many of you have decided to do distance learning. Okay? It was a choice you made. So there are things you gave up. You incurred opportunity costs. You just saw that, okay, the opportunity cost of missing out school is too great to incur. So you're like, no, let me go to school. That's why we are doing distance learning. Okay, colleagues. So basically, that's how we make choices. Because remember, as I said, economics is how we make choices with limited resources. So when the resources are limited, you're going to see amongst your choices which choice has a greater opportunity cost. Okay? The one that has got a greater opportunity cost is the choice you go for, because you do not want to incur that opportunity cost. Any questions, colleagues? So if we look at our graph here, I'll show you how we calculate our opportunity costs. Okay? If we start at point A here. Point A, we're only producing food. Okay? And we say that, okay, we want to now also engage in cloth production. Okay? So if we move from point A to point B, okay, two things are happening. We're giving up food, that is our opportunity cost. Alright? We're producing 50 units of food, now we're producing 45 units of food. So we've given up 5 units of food. Okay? We give up 5 units of food, which is our opportunity cost. We give up 5 units of clothes, which is our opportunity cost. In order to gain, so we give up 5 units of food in order to gain 5 units of clothes. Okay. Give up 5 units to gain. Give up 5 units of food. gain 5 units of clothes. Okay. If we decide, okay, want to produce more clothes, meaning we're now moving from point B to C. Okay. Which means the food, initially we're producing 45 units, now we're producing 20 units. 45 minus 20, that is 25. I had to make it 15. Let me just make it 15. 45 minus 15. 30. So let me make this as 30 here. Yes, so when we move from point B to point C, okay, we're first producing 45 units, now we're producing 30 units of food. Means we've given up 15 units of food in order to gain 2 units of clothes. Okay, we're moving from 5 to 7, so we've gained 2 units of clothes. So the opportunity cost is those 15 units of food we gave up. If we decide and say we still want to produce more clothes, okay, moving from point C to D, it means we're going to give up 30 units of food, because we're moving from 30 to 0. So we're giving up 30 units of food in order to gain 3 units of clothes. Okay. So what I've illustrated here is the law of increasing opportunity cost. Law of increasing opportunity cost, which basically says to produce more of one good, okay, you need to give up more units of the other good. So in this case, to produce more clothes, it means we have to give up more food. As you can see, at first we gave up 5 units of food. Then we gave up 15 units of food. Then we've given up 30 units of food. So we can see our opportunity cost is increasing. Okay, colleagues? The opportunity cost is increasing. That's what the law states. Any questions? So that's why this graph has got this shape. Okay, colleagues? The bow shape. The reason why the PPF curve has got the bow shape is because of the law of increasing opportunity costs. Okay? It's because of the law of increasing opportunity cost. Okay? If the opportunity cost is constant, this is how your graph will look. Have a straight line like this. Okay. Where you have a constant opportunity cost here. Okay, let's say we still have food here and we have clothes. Okay. So as you can see, to produce more clothes, you have to give up 5 units of food, 10 units of food, give up 10 units here. You move from 50 to 40. And to produce more clothes, again you give up another 10 units. You want to produce more clothes, another 10 units, until you reach 0 units of food. Then the opportunity cost is staying the same. The more clothes you want to produce, the same amount of food that you need to give up, right? So here the opportunity cost is a constant one. Yes. Any questions, colleagues?